The last valedictorian to present to us as a school community this evening is Miss Morgan Hansen.
At one point in time, we have all been driven by the fear of failure. The dread of coming up short, not achieving, and simply not being good enough has propelled us to act in one of three ways. We have overachieved, underachieved, and chose to ignore all achieving. Chance, Anthony, Joe, and many more have put on those plates, laid down on that bench, and pictured that moment when they would come head to head with their opponent. You imagine the outcome, and the very thought of failing propelled you to lift harder, to strain with every ounce of strength you had against that bar. For Dakota, Cameron, Alan, Rachel, I, and many more, the very idea of getting a B or a C pushed us to study and learn more. In other instances, fear of failure has caused us to underachieve because our insecurities have told us it is better to fail on purpose. So we ditched class, marked random answers, and chose not to give our full effort. There were times when you didn't run as hard as you could for the ball or jump as high as you could for that rebound because it was better not to try than for your best effort to come up short. The third way we handle failure is by ignoring all achieving in general. We submerge ourselves in a TV show, video games, a professional sport, or books, and ignore what we could be doing, maximizing our gifts and talents by pushing ourselves to achieve. Laziness becomes our natural state, and the option of failing disappears. But what if I told you that failure was inevitable, that your accomplishments meant nothing? No matter how you choose to handle your fear, the result is meaningless, because any achievement of your own volition will pass away and turn to dust. King Solomon, the wisest man to ever walk this earth, tells us, "Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit has a man from all his labor, in which he toils under the sun? One generation passes away, and another generation comes. But the earth abides forever. The sun also rises, and the sun goes down, and hastens to the place where it arose. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. To the place from which the rivers come, there they return again. And all things are full of labor. Man cannot express it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear satisfied with hearing. That which has been is what will be. That which has been done is what will be done. And there is nothing new under the sun. There is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of things that are to come by those who will come after." I honestly believe that all I have and will accomplish will someday pass away and be forgotten. Even those I greatly affect will pass away, and my memory with them. So at this point, you're probably thinking, "Morgan, what's your point? Is this a doom and gloom speech, or a speech about living for pleasure and pleasing yourself?" No, this is not a doom and gloom speech or a YOLO speech, but instead a call to action, an action that brings hope, a call to live for something greater than oneself, or what you can personally achieve, become, or create. We did not just become, we were all created and have the option to live for a cause greater than personal achievement. What if every single one of us in this stadium chose to live for something that was eternal? How will it affect the world when ourselves are taken out of the equation? For the last 18 years, my mom has been trying to tell me that, shockingly, it's not all about me. I know, hard to grasp, still struggling with it. I am learning that she didn't just mean it's not just about what I want, but also my limitations. So when I say live for something bigger than yourselves, I do not just mean your wants, but also your failures and limitations. Whether Gideon, Moses, and Joshua are historical figures, mythical characters, or legendary leaders, there is something we can learn from their stories. When there was no way Gideon's army could capture victory. Confusion spread amongst the enemy army, and they defeated themselves. Cornered and captured, imminent. The Red Sea was parted so Moses could save his people. And finally, when Joshua was unable to defeat the city of Jericho, the walls fell in. See, when these leaders took their own capability out of the equation, amazing things happened. But what if we take this philosophy one step further? What if we can live for something much bigger than ourselves without failure even being a possibility? My personal Savior, but also a man history recognizes as extraordinary, Jesus of Nazareth, said, "These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble. But be of good cheer. I have overcome the world." What would you have accomplished in high school if failure was not an option? I wonder how many times I would have shot the ball because I knew I couldn't be stuffed. How much I would have learned when I wasn't concerned about my grade, and what we would have attempted to read and understand, and what we would have tried to create. If we leave this place living for eternity, we will turn our world upside down. But if we leave this place living for eternity, knowing that through Christ we cannot fail, there is no telling what our world will look like. So class of 2013, lay aside your own accomplishments, failures, and limitations, and take on an already conquered world.